Hey guys, so my Patreon is a thing, and there is the full live stream to this tutorial on the Patreon where you can unlock it there. If you want to sub, it'll support the channel and it'll give you that full live stream where you can watch it and like it'll really make sense. So yeah, thanks. So have a good video. Okay, so first you will need to spawn in a circle, fill it in, and then add some detail like I am doing. So I'm just insetting faces using I and Control R. I'm extruding certain faces, insetting, whole spiel. Also, I select loop faces by hitting Alt and then hitting the edge in between two faces, and it'll select it. Here I'm starting to make the little tail thingies at the top, and it's really just a cube, and then I bend that the top a little bit, and I extrude it in, and I just kind of reuse the parts because I'm lazy. And yeah, it ends up looking pretty good, so just keep watching and it'll unfold. And follow along too. If you're in Blender following along, that's great. Okay, now onto the pillars. So it's really just the bottom that's kind of out a little bit, and then there's a little nudge where it kind of it straightens and then it goes flat. Well, it's all flat, but it's straight. You know what I mean? It's straight and then it's kind of diagonal, like you see at the edge is kind of like a kitchen type thing. And yeah, so there's a little bevel, and just copy what I'm doing. I'm using Control B to bevel, and then I to inset, and then E to extrude, and Control R, and then I'm grabbing faces with G. Alright, now it's time to mirror. So I go into the modifier section and grab a mirror, and then I make sure it's mirroring on the x-axis. And then I make the center object that little bell thing I made earlier. And then I just connect it up with some extra detail, and you can do clipping or merge to connect it up. And then I use an array. And I use that same array for the ceiling lights. I make an array of little cylinders, and then I use a boolean to cut into the surface. Alright, now it's time for that triangle in the middle. I just made a triangle by taking a circle and turning down all the subdivisions, and it'll go to 3 points, which is obviously triangle. So you want to inset and extrude until you get this type of shape, and then I just kind of beveled slightly the center so it has a smooth edge. And yeah, I just detailed it, so if you keep copying along, you can get the same thing. And I spawned in some cubes to make a little kind of cross arrow type thingy, and it just, the aesthetic looked nice. Alright, now it's time for the lighting. So I added an area light to separate that circle in half. I didn't use any fancy materials. And then I separated out the back wall with like a black metallic material. And I just kind of, blues, yellows, anything to like complement each other. Just make it your own. Detail it how you want. Make the floor cool. Use that roughness. That roughness is a big key detail in this with imperfections. So the reflection has some dirtiness to it and it doesn't look too perfect and CGI-like. And yeah, you should get a pretty cool result if you follow this walkthrough / tutorial / whatever you want to call it. So yeah, thanks for sticking around, and I think this will be my last voiceover, so thanks!